gentlemen. What's going on here? So let me get this straight. You are rain, you're sickness, and you are sunlight. Got it. So I would assume you all aren't here to help me film. Nope, okay. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the continuation of the 034 Motorsports rear sway bar install. Now, as you might have noticed, this video is coming out more than a week after the initial install video. As noted earlier, it was kind of an uphill battle to get here, but it did give me more time with the sway bar and more time with the car to see if I actually liked it or if I was really thinking about recommending it. Now, this car is already a very good car to live with. The Mark 7 Golf, GTI, R, Sport Wagon, whatever you feel like owning, is already a very good platform. Its biggest issue is understeer under incredibly hard cornering. I've had this issue a couple times. I've even had some oversteer issues that turned into understeer because the way you get out of oversteer is countersteer and throttle, or praying and changing your pants, whichever comes first. So I was very excited to hear about the rear sway bar and to figure out if it actually worked. Now I will keep this short and sweet. I love it. And I will now send you back to the past, to myself driving this very car with the sway bar, to tell you a little bit more about what we feel. So let's go back. You join me currently inside the GTI, where I have been driving with the 034 Motorsports rear sway bar on my car for about 3 weeks now. I've had quite a few opportunities to experience the car in everywhere from daily driving use all the way to spirited driving, which I plan to do a little right now. Hopefully, the roads are a bit wet around here for whatever reason. I'm going to assume because I've been wanting to film. It has been raining or cold every day this week. So without further ado, let's jump into it. First off, I'm going to start with daily driving. I have noticed almost no difference in the car since I started driving to work and back and to shops and everywhere else I go during the day, since I put the bar on the car. The car's overall drivability didn't change at all. You can still daily it. It's not loud, it's not squeaky, it's not interrupting, it's not even really bumpy at all. Where you will, however, notice the rear sway bar change is when you start to get into tight roads, which is very common around here in Pittsburgh. Even in my daily commute, I have noticed that the car is a lot more agile, and that's a good thing. The car was already a very point and shoot kind of car. You can aim it at a corner, hit the throttle, and fire yourself through most of the time. If the car was upset by anything, it had a tendency to understeer, which I have not found a good explanation as to why yet, but I have a feeling it was because the rear sway bar was so weak it would allow the car to pitch over and take weight off of the front wheels. Now, I don't feel like getting too terribly detailed into that. I'm not a chassis engineer, so I personally don't know. What I can tell you, however, is most of the understeer, if not all of it, in the area where you are going to be driving is going to be completely gone. There are probably still some people who will take this onto a track or who will take it into areas where you can encourage understeer if you drive really, really hard, but so far the car has not shown any signs of wanting to understeer in my driving, which I will admit is quite hard. Now, as for the more scientific look into this, I don't have access to a test track. At some point, I would like to take the car onto a track and see how it handles, but for the moment, the only way we have to know that this has actually done anything is there is one road in my area that is very lightly used. It's very technical, very twisty-turny, and we have set times on it as a benchmark for the cars that we have used on there. Scott's WRX has been the leader so far, led off by my GTI, and I don't know if Ryan's run yet. This car shaved off 4 seconds from its fastest time. 4 seconds from its fastest time. An incredibly powerful car like this, well, for the chassis, of course, it makes a whopping 220 horsepower, is very, very, very easy to make move in a straight line. Turning was pretty good too, but you had to really watch out for how you were making the car turn. Applying a little brakes and trying to swivel the car was something that I got very good at. With this sway bar, however, you just turn. It balanced the car out so much so that it actually made it more enjoyable just in daily driving. If I go around a corner, even in the wet, I don't have to think about that stuff. I can just do it. Coupled with good tires, Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06s, which are my personal tire of choice for a car like this. Incredibly grippy, but still good in the snow. And adding in the EBC red pads that I have on all 4 corners of this car, and EBC slotted rotors, again, all 4 corners. This thing stops well, it turns well, it grips well, it doesn't understeer anymore. I would say this is where you should stop with the GTI if you don't want to add like a short shifter or something. Now, I could go on and on and on about how great this car is, and you know I will, but I think I'm just going to leave it off there. Is this a good choice? Oh yeah. Was it easy to install? Eh. Should you look into one if you have a GTI? Even if you have an e-Golf, I would look into one personally. But yes, from a driver's perspective, you definitely should look into something like this. Even if it isn't the 034, although I would highly recommend them. They are very good at Volkswagen parts. Go for it. Get a rear sway bar. It's a very cheap way to make your car corner, and it's less complicated to set up than coilovers. But with that, I'm going to send you back to the garage. Enjoy. So now that you've seen what it's like to actually drive the car with the sway bar, let's talk about what it's like to live with the sway bar. Now, this mod is considered to be a no noise or vibration adding mod in my book. 034 says that it shouldn't add noise or vibrations either. However, I will add, if you do have the CTS turbo exhaust, for the next month you will be readjusting it because it does not like to sit properly after you take it off. I'm still dealing with this. It's better, but keep that in mind. Now, that is not to say that in a month it will not start to show issues. There are grease fittings on this particular part to grease the polyurethane bushings because polyurethane bushings do squeak. I had them on my Mini, I had them on my Z. They squeak, it's annoying, but 034 thought of this and gave you grease fittings. That means I will have to steal my grease gun back, but I don't think Ryan will mind if I take his. So, with that said, this is the perfect daily driver mod, and if I'm honest, EBC red pads, EBC slotted rotors on all 4 wheels, a blow-off valve and an exhaust, although the blow-off valve might come off here soon, and possibly a short shifter, make this car the greatest daily driver, fun weekend car that I could possibly come up with. I know someone's going to come out and say like, oh, my RS3 is a better car because it has a 5-cylinder. Yes, but it was also way more expensive than this car. Remember, the Mark 7 Golf delayed a C-Class, W205. Look it up. It's a really interesting story because this was just better. So with that said, I kind of spoiled what I'm going to do next. The short shifter will make this the ultimate daily. On top of that, though, I probably will be looking into doing seats at some point. Corbeau has ones that retain the plaid and the heated elements, because those are really the only 2 things I care about when it comes to seats in this car. Because the bolstering in this is not meeting my specifications anymore. In hard cornering, it is very easy for me to get kind of tossed side to side because the bolstering just really isn't there. As I have lost a little weight, maybe that has helped, but prior to that I did think they were perfectly good. So we're almost to the perfect daily driver car. With that said, this car is fantastic. 034 Motorsports rear sway bar is a great mod for you. If you can find it on sale, I found out that 034 will throw it on sale every once in a while. You can usually get it for about the price that I paid for it, secondhand. It had never had any driving hours put onto it, but still bought it secondhand. For $320 though, new, it is a good mod. It fixes a lot of the handling characteristics of the car that were an issue for a lot of people. And if you're planning on tracking the car, 034 makes a bunch of other mods for the car, like front control arms and camber adjustable lower ball joints. If you're not tracking the car, just do the sway bar. It's all you need. Invest in a good grease gun and you should be perfectly fine. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're new here, go check out another video, leave a comment, tell me what you think. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. You make this all possible, and I hope that this was informative to you or gave you as much information as possible. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. But as always, peace out, everyone. I'm gonna go put a short shifter on my car.